dashboard where we simply created one user, we created a group, right? Dev GRP1, but we have not added any user, there is no inline policy, there is no policies also attached to the group. Simply we have just created one group. Now come to this user and click on add user. Okay. So now just name this user, the Dev GRP we have created. So that is kind of development group. So just to understand a situation where we have an organization where we have one development team. For that development team, one of the development team, we have named it as Dev GRP1, right? So for that group, we have created one group, right? So we have not attached any policy. We'll attach it later so that we will understand that how to attach it, right? So now we'll create some user and add to the development group. So this particular user that we are going to create is going to be a developer, right? So let's name this user as dev user 1. Okay, now just allow this user to access to the console. Okay, so there are options like programmatic access, just for API or command line or something. So this is like the developer will be needing the management console access. So we will enable this management console access. We'll enable some password, right? So that user can log in directly to the AWS management console. We'll create or we'll attach some policy. We'll see, right? Now we have option of auto-generated password, or we have option of custom password as well, right? So we can say like auto-generated password, right? Or if you say custom password, I have option to give the password directly. If I choose auto-generated password, then it will be automatically generated. So usually, we do this, and this option say user must create a new password at next sign in. So this is also something very important, right? So this option is like, as soon as the user gets the first password, user tries to log in, that time he must change his password. He must create his own password, right? So that nobody is aware. Even the administrators are not aware of that, right? So the user can create own password and use that one, right? So in production environment, we will always choose this option. User must create a new password at next sign in. So this option is always checked, right? So you say custom password. Let me create a custom password here. You can also create something and just remember that. Okay, so I have created a password, right? And then I'm clicking on next permissions. So I clicked on next. So I don't save it. I don't save it. Now it says set permission, add user to group, copy permissions from existing user, attach existing policy directly. So see the options here, right? First option is add user to group. That is what we have chosen. Now you have another option, copy permissions from existing user. So say like it happens sometimes that one person is leaving the organization, other person is joining in, right? So that time you want to grant whatever user is going. So his permissions directly we can copy it to the new user who is taking the position, right? So that is also possible. And then later we delete the user, the older user who is leaving the organization. So that is possible, the benefit of this. And apart from that, you have attach existing policy directly. So to this user also we can directly attach a particular policy if you wish, right? But for now we are not attaching anything here. So what we are doing is add user to group, right? So you have option to create a group, or you have option to choose a group. correct? So that this user is a developer, we want to add this user to this devgrp1. Okay, all of you
Harish, in the
please.
previous step we given password, right?
Yeah.
So basically, uh, I didn't get that particular part properly. Maybe.
Okay,
Uh,
let me come back to the previous slide. So you just see here, you have
yeah.
option to give the password or choose the option of auto-generated password. Both options are there.
Okay.
So which one you choose?
I choose custom password, but how
Okay.
does it going to help the user actually?
Say like what happens when I create a custom password. So I'll just put some arbitrary password here. Okay.
Okay.
Now what I have to do is I have to share this password with the user. Say like I can
Okay.
no maybe over say like some what you call instant messaging system is there in say like our organization, or say
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some kind of SMS service is there or something. Using that, I have to share this password to the
To user. Okay.
user, right? So once I share this password to user, right, till that time only I will be knowing that password, right? Nobody else
Yeah.
will be knowing. Now I know that password because I am a say like this IAM administrator. So
Yeah.
now I know the password. So till the time I know, it is my accountability, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I share that password with the user, and after that I'm ticking mark this required password reset. User
Okay.
must create a new password at next sign in. So that user will be changing the password. As soon as the password is changed, there will be record in the system where the password was changed by this particular, no, from this particular IP by that particular person, right? So that change will be recorded, right? Access will be recorded, and then after that onwards, that particular user will become responsible.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Correct. So, or if you simply choose this option, auto-generated one, then what will happen? It will create a password, and then it
System
will
will create
just,
instantly.
you remember last time we had created some password and we had got some CSV file,
Yeah. Correct.
correct? So for, I think for Windows user that we had created, we had got some file, Excel file, right? So we
Yeah.
downloaded it. So like that you can down, if you choose auto generated, then it will create some CSV format, some file or something which you can download, and you can email that file to the user, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So a lot of options are there. So that's fine. Anything is fine. Auto generated password if we use. So what we can do is we can just say like no next some permission. Auto generated also you can choose anything, you can choose.
Okay.
So Prashant, what do you have chosen?
I used custom.
Okay, so for you, Pradeep,
Yeah. I chose custom only.
custom only. Okay, so let me also choose custom, or yeah, let me also choose custom. So what I will do is, uh, so you can try later with that option also.
Okay.
Okay, so try with that option. You will get some no, uh, feature. You will get that file actually, CSV file, so that you can cross verify.
Yeah.
So that the benefit in auto generated is like you don't have to remember it.
Yeah. Right.
So that is also a good option. So let me go for, because multiple times if you try some password, that time you may forget the password, right? Say like you are
Yes.
giving some password while setting, and that time it will say no, you need uppercase, you need lowercase, you need a number, and then you try with something else, then you try with something else, you try with some 10 different combinations, and then finally you create, it gets created, and then you don't remember what is your password.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Correct.
happened to you sometimes.
Yeah. That's.
So that also happens with custom. But anyways, like let me just put some password. Anyways, I'll delete this video. So you need to be careful if you're putting some password, right? So you should, if it is visible in the, say like recording or somewhere, so you should be, you should delete that password later. That user only should be deleted. Otherwise, somebody else will be accessing your account. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm giving access to console, right?
Yeah.
So this is very, very critical because this will go to recording only, right? This will go
Yes. So like
to
this, somebody have given access to us when we create an AWS console access.
that is by default. We only created our root account. You
Yeah,
remember
correct.
we
We sign
registered
up.
our
Yes.
account.
Yeah.
So that is automated actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that is automated. We only created. We ourselves created. So there is no IAM user created. Only root account was created, which we are
Mhm.
using it as of now.
So in this case, we are creating for another guy, and
Yeah,
we
we are
are
creating for developer, one developer person who is
right.
part of our organization, who is working in a
Okay.
development team.
Okay.
For
Okay.
that
Yes.
user, some IAM administrator is creating it.
Okay. Just like Windows username password, we get
Correct.
it created from our company. Yes.
Yes. So how, say like you have any server access, say like for Windows or for Linux or for any server, right? So when a new person joins, so that person will get some access, right?
Yeah.
So like that only this user is say like new joinee who is joining the development team, right? So we are creating one user for that person.
Okay. Understood. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let me put a password. Okay, I put some passwords. So because now in our case, like I'll just remove this because I don't want to change, right? Practically it will be required, but I don't want to change because I have to log in and show you something, right? So for that purpose, I'm not changing it again and again. So if you can tick mark, not an issue. You can or you can just remove it for now. You can tick mark later because again you have to create another password. First time when you try to log in, it will
Understood.
ask you
Yeah.
to change that
Correct.
password, right?
Yeah.
For our practical purposes, we are not. I'm not using this one. So I'm just choosing custom, and I'm not saying that required password reset again, right? I have to remember one more password, right? So let's say next.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just say permission. Then here I have chosen that dev grp1. So that user which has joined recently, this dev grp is there. So we are adding that user to this particular group which is already existing, right? Some other members may be there already by default, right? To this organization, to this particular developmental group, correct? Now we just say next means tag. We can give some tag here. Want to define something? Say like we want to define the name. We can say that this person is a developer. Name of the actual name of the user we can say. So say like first name, last name we can mention like that. So we can say this person's name or something. Then we can say like what? We can say like department, right?
Mm.
So this person is from say like software development department, right? So like that we are giving some options, right? So, but this is a tag, so we should give some no, different type of like we'll give dev user one, we'll give like this, maybe we'll say software. We can simply say software. So that much should be enough value. Smaller value, something like that you can put. You can add 48 more tags. So total 50 tags are allowed here for this particular resource. So we say next for the view, and we can just see like whatever we have chosen is there. So we have that group name coming here, which is important. So this just click on create user, and then you see that that user is created successfully, right? And then you can view and download user security credentials. You can also email users instructions for signing into AWS Management Console. In the last time, these credentials will be available to download. However, you can create new credentials at any time, right? So here also I have option to download the CSV. Users with AWS Management Console access can sign in at this location, right? So you can, here also they're giving us option for downloading the CSV file, and you have option to send email directly, you see.
Okay.
Right? So if you have any email client or something configured, simply you can click on that and you can send that email to the user. if you have the details of the user email ID and all. Or you can download the CSV and save that, right? New user credentials, and this can be saved somewhere on a desktop. Say like here I can save it. I can just save it like that here. I just say save, so that will be saved, right? So I can refer to that detail also, right? So, and this is the sign in location. So this is something I'll just copy this, and I'll not open here in this browser. I'll open in another browser maybe, because again due to cookies, right? It will be my access, root access will be different. It will override that. So let me open in another browser. You see, so this account ID will come. So now we are logging in, say like here, how we have logged in is, let me just show you here. So you go to aws.amazon.com. So when we come to this site, right, it asks us to sign in, right? So when we try to sign in, right, so it asks first for that root one. Directly it signed in because it's saved for me, right? But when you come and try to log in, right? So how it asks, that root account it asks, right? It doesn't give like this option, right?
Yeah.
So now here URL, they have given a different URL here for signing into that. For the user, they have given us option, right, where we can give the username and then we can give the password, but account ID is mentioned. If you change the account ID, right, instead of my account ID, if you put your account ID, right, and then put the username and password, whatever user you have created. So like that you can directly access. Or when you go to aws.amazon.com directly, you have option there also, aws.amazon.com. If you go to this directly, so you see here, it will give you option signing to the console. When you click here, it will not log in directly. Oh, because I just used that one, right? So cookies has taken it. I'll go to another browser. 1 second.
I used another browser and it is asking for the same thing, whatever account ID, username, password.
Yeah. You see, I go to a fresh browser. So what happens here? It's asking for create account only, right? Now I say AWS Management Console, I click. So I'm not saying create account. I am just going to AWS Management Console. So now you see, here you see this. This is the actual, once you create an account, you get like this. This is the first page.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here
So
you
we have
choice.
created IAM user, right?
Yeah. So here you have choice. Root user, that we usually log in to this browser Firefox. I have logged in using the root user. So you have we have chosen the root user. Now, if I go to IAM user, I have to put that account ID. This is the only difference. If I go to root account, so I can put my email address and I can say next and I give password. If I choose IAM user, then it will ask for account ID, right? So what I can do is I can take that account ID. Yeah.
So account ID by default, it will get populated when we start first time.
No, it has come here in this browser because you remember I copied that link that it had suggested.
Correct. So
I
that
copied
link
that
we have,
link.
right?
Yeah. So because of that link, this account ID came in this one, in this Chrome browser.
Okay. Yes.
Right. So this account ID came by default. Because
okay. So where else we can see this account ID? Once we
here
log in.
Here. My account. You just click on your my account. It will have certain other confidential information as well. So you just click on yours. You see it, then you let me know.
Okay.
Found it?
Yeah, I got the account ID. Yes.
Yeah, correct. So Prashant, you can also see. You have your address, you have your phone number, a lot of information will be there. right? So
Harish, actually one
yeah,
question. So
yeah.
when I take the link, copied link from that, that
Once you
web,
created the user, you got a link, right?
right? That I use that link in a
Yeah,
different browser,
yeah.
and I got the account IDs. Whatever my account ID is getting populated there.
Yes, yes. Because that link, that user you have created, that is from your account only, right?
Okay, okay,
Right. So that IAM user, whatever you have created, that user is part of your account. You are the root, you are the owner of that company, that organization, which is holding that account, right?
okay, okay.
So you are the root authority, supreme authority. Now you have created one user for somebody, some employee of yours. So now that person will be logging to your account only, right?
Okay, okay.
So that's why the link is containing the account ID of the same account in which that user has been created. They are making our life little easy, but because we don't have to copy that, and simply we can know whatever file that we created, right? We got that. That also they should mention it. I will see a new user credential. If you just go there, so hopefully you see here. You saw this. So you have the link, right?
Yeah.
So in that link, it is my account ID, you see. So the link itself is my account ID dot signin.aws.com/console.
Okay.
So this is what is my account ID. The link itself contains the account ID, right? And the username. If it was like auto-generated password, then that password would have been visible here. Now that I have created it myself, it's not visible here. If you just auto-generate, if you do, that will come here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm able to log in now. Yeah.
Perfect. So you logged into that account. Okay, good. So what I will do is I'll keep this. So here you have option. You can put account ID, you can do next, and then you can enter that. So here I have the username. So what was the username? Dave user something, right? Dave user one, I think. Dave user one, right? So let me put the password. Okay, let's try. Oh, it works. Yeah. Now you logged into that user. I did not save the password. Now just see here what that user can have access to. So you see all services EC2. You click on EC2, right? So in the Ohio region itself, this username is visible here, Dave user, my account, my organization, all those things, my account. If you see console.aws.com. So if you see IAM access denied, you don't have permission to access billing information for this account, right? So this user, we have not given anything, right? Have you given anything to this user?
No.
Nothing. So you just click on running instances, error occurred in fetching the instance data. So instance types, right? So issue encountered fetching data, right? The user wants to try
Which
for
means he doesn't have access.
not that user has authenticated, right? But
Yeah.
what is not there is
Okay, you are not.
authorized. Just see the keyword.
Okay.
So there is no authorization. So you understood the difference between authentication and authorization?
Yeah, yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So user is not authorized. We have not given anything to this user, but except the username and password.
So that
So
policy we did not mention, so that's why we
yes, that's right.
did not add policy.
Yes. Now you can appreciate the importance of policy, correct? So what we
Yes,
should do next then?
we have to assign some policy to him.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's do that, right? So this user, we just leave it as it is here, and then let's go to this console, right, where we are root user, right? So let's go to IAM dashboard. Here, IAM dashboard. Prashant, you are going to IAM dashboard?
Yes,
Prashant?
Harish.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Harish.
Yeah. Perfect. So please go to IAM dashboard, right? There you see one user, one group, like that you have option. So please go to groups. Here you can choose groups. First one. So you can see one group is there, right? So you click on that group. You come inside that group's resource. Now here you see permission. Go to permissions tab. And now policy can give the permission, right? So this is what is the use of policy. So please click on attach policy. Okay. So now what we can do. And for the other user, right? Okay, we'll see. So now policy. What type of policy you want to give? Not
Harish,
AWS
just a
managed.
minute. I'm in the EC2 now. So where do I go?
1 second. So what you have to do is you on the Amazon console you have to go, web console. There you have to choose IAM. Click on IAM. Then you reach IAM dashboard.
Okay.
Okay. On the IAM dashboard, you have option for access management. You click on groups. Once you click on groups, do you see one group created already?
Yeah.
Okay. Click on that group. Then you'll reach here to this page where you have option for permissions. Click on permissions. There.
Okay. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. So on permissions page, you click on attach policy. There.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you see here policy type, right? Right. So you just see here, we have AWS managed policies, right? Just click on AWS managed policy. It's the same thing for me, right? No, I have no other policy. So I have like, no, if you see on job function basis, you will have like based on the different type of jobs the organizations will be having. Based on that, you will have option. However, we are just choosing AWS managed policy where we have 571 results. So in this, we will be searching something. Click on that. So I want to give, right, full access to S3. Okay, so I have S3, right? No simple storage service. For that, I want to give full access to this developer. Okay, so how do I find it? I just say S3, right? Now you see the options. As soon as you search for S3, what else? What all things you got? You have S3 full access, and you have read-only access also, right? So I give full access. You can give read-only access. Maybe if you give read-only access, the user cannot do anything. But I'm giving full access. You can also choose for this practical purpose full access, right? And then you can say attach policy.
So when we select both read-only and full access, so which will take precedence?
Full access, right? Because read-only access is like limited only, right? So both are granting access. It's not denying, right? So if you just grant both, then both will be given. So this person will have full access only. That will be meaningful.
Right.
Right. So now you have this policy, full access policy, right? If you just try to see this show policy, if you click, right, you see this very small policy, right? You just see what is written. The fact is allow, action is S3 : asterisk, resources asterisk. Asterisk means any. So this person can do any action, right? This person can do any action, means any action. This person can delete the bucket. This person can delete your existing bucket. This person can delete your existing critical valuable bucket as well with all its data. Dangerous, right?
Yeah.
This policy looks like very dangerous because you have given full access to the person who can delete the bucket itself. Okay, so no problem. So we will see that. Let that person delete some bucket, and then we will take out the policy only from this person. Okay, so we have attached the policy. We have already attached this. So we have this user also part of this group. So now we can go to the another browser and we can see, right, this person can go to S3, right, and this person can go there and try to see there's no bucket actually. So this person can create a bucket, right, and this is Dev bucket 1, Dev bucket 1, and let's say Dev bucket 1, and I'll say like next. Bucket name already exists, so I can say that Dev user 1 dash bucket 1. So I don't think this will be there. Dev user 1 hyphen bucket 1. So I'll create like this. I say next. Okay, this is good. Versioning and all is fine. Tag and all, it's okay for now. I'll just say next. Let it be blocked. Let it be. Okay, fine. All things are fine. Let it be default. By default, you can click on create. So this bucket has been created. This Dev user bucket 1 is created. Now you create one more bucket, right? Or you can create one bucket using your this particular console. So here we click on services. We choose S3 as a root user. We open in a new tab. The S3 will open in a new tab. Right there, we see that bucket has been created. We create root bucket root hyphen critical bucket, right, hyphen 23rd August, right? So like that I'll create, so it will not be there, right? So I'm creating this bucket in not in Mumbai. I'll create that in Ohio only. So I'll create that in Ohio, right? So I'll just say next. I'll enable versioning maybe, and I'll give some tag. So this is my variable. This bucket name is like critical. I'll say critical, and then I will just say next, next, create. Okay, so I have root critical bucket created here, and you see that user. Now we go back to Chrome and try to refresh here, right? So buckets, and just click here. You have option to refresh here. So I create refreshed. So you see here root critical bucket. That came, right?
Yeah.
That user can see this bucket, right? And he says, oh, who has created this? This doesn't look like no important or something. So he will just like go there and tick mark, and then he says delete. And he says root critical bucket or something. Then he will now simply delete that. Done. So as a root, you have created a bucket and suddenly you saw that, okay, it's not there. Gone. See, as a root, I can see it's not there. Do you think this is desirable?
No.
Not desirable, right? So what do you do now?
So, Harish, actually, I logged in with the whatever user we created just now.
Yeah.
I am user.
Yeah.
I could see all the buckets which I created in the previous sessions.
Yes, you
Is
can
it
see because you have given full access, right?
okay?
You have given full access. That person can delete any of the existing bucket, any of the newly created bucket. It can delete that. You can try with existing bucket. If it is not of your use, you can delete it using that user.
So he should be able to see whatever root user has created.
No, that's not. He should be able to see, but he should not be able to delete at least.
Correct. So that is the fundamental, but
Yeah.
purpose. But what I'm saying, the IAM user is able to see whatever the root user has created.
Yes, because that's the purpose of his job. See, like whatever buckets are there in the organization, right? So he will be managing it. That person will be managing, working on all those objects, whatever is there in the bucket created by root or bucket created by whosoever, right? Because he is a developer, he has to maintain it because the owner of the organization or somebody else will not be managing those buckets, right?
Okay. So for example, you are the root user and you
Yeah.
created me as an IAM user.
Yeah.
So, and using my IAM username password, I'm logging in and I can able to see your buckets, whatever created.
Correct. Because bucket is universal to the account, not to the user, right?
Okay.
See, that is a bucket for storing the data, and that person has joined the organization to take care of the buckets or take care of the resources or something, right? He is a responsible system administrator or responsible developer, right?
Okay.
So that person is we have hired that person for taking care of things, right? But now whatever but if you don't want, if you have any secret bucket as a root user where you are keeping your confidential data that you don't want him to see, you can define that. You can restrict
Okay.
that. That is the purpose of these policies. So that is what we are going to do now. That is what we are going
Okay.
to do. So we don't want that user to do certain operations. How to control that? Because this is not desirable that anybody goes and deletes the root bucket or sees the root bucket or does whatever he wishes with any of the resources. So that is not allowed. Now
Okay.
this user, right, whatever rights you want to define, you can restrict it. You can give something, you can grant something, you can take away something else, right? So that is how we discuss that IAM is granular in case of permission. You can wish whatever you wish that you can do with this, whatever level of permission you want to set. So you don't want, looks like with your conversation looks like you don't want that user to see that buckets only, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing actually,
Yeah.
how could he able to see that? That's the because we given full access. That's why.
Yeah, he is root now for S3.
Okay. Right.
Correct? That
Yeah.
person we have given full access. Even if you give read-only access, right?
He
What
could
we
able
have
to
given, you
see.
remember the policy. Let's go to that. This one. Let's go to root user and let's go to IAM console, right? And then let's go to IAM, and in that IAM you just see, go to groups and click on this, go to permission and see what you have given. Understand this?
Yeah. Okay.
What you have given?
Complete S3.
You just see two things here, two things.
Yeah. Asterisk. Yeah.
Two asterisks are there, right? What is
Yeah.
the first asterisk?
So S3 full access.
S3 action means all
Yeah.
actions.
All actions.
All
Asterisk.
actions, right? S6 means any action he can do. Not only read, write or something, he can delete. Now, resource, if you look at, right? I'll give couple of practical sessions, right? We will discuss that how we can change these parameters and how we can restrict things. What can come here in place of asterisks, right? Here you can mention the ARN. If you want to give him access to only one bucket, you can mention the bucket name here, right? Sorry, you can mention the bucket name here in the resource section. You see any resource, right? Because of this only he is getting your buckets also, which you don't want, correct?
Yeah.
So what is happening? He can perform any action on any of the resource, right? He can perform any action on any of the S3, right? Right? On any of the resource. Got it? That is where like he is getting the full access, and that is the meaning of the policy. That is the meaning of this policy. This policy is meant for that. This policy is meant for granting the full access by default. And this is who has given this policy? This is created by Amazon only, right? So Amazon has lot of policies, right? From which you can attach up to 10 managed policies right here. So what we have done, we have attached a policy where it will grant full access to the user, right, of this particular group, right? Full access for doing anything with what? With only S3. You see, that person cannot do anything with the EC2 instance. You can check. See this person. Okay, this person goes to services. He goes to EC2 instance, right? EC2 dashboard. Still, he cannot see our running instance. Can he see?
No.
Nothing. Clear? Making it clear? You understood why that person has got no access to your root bucket?
Yeah, got it. No.
Got it, right? So he has got access to S3 level because probably he is like he requires it, so that we have given, right? So whatever root bucket we have created, so that is not confidential. Every user will have their own bucket and they will keep bucket. It's not that. Purpose is not that. That bucket is just containing the operational data only, right? That bucket is to be managed by that user. It's not confidential information or some personal information of the root user. So in that purpose, you can grant this S3 full access. However, now, even after granting this full access, right, you just don't want that person to delete it at least, correct? Whatever you don't want for that particular group of users, right? So what we will do? Tell me. For that only this inline policy is there. We discussed about inline policy, right? You remember?
Yeah, specific policy to be.
Yes, specific to a user or group, right? So this inline policy is specifically attached, right? So here we will be denying things actually. So here we can allow deny whatever options are there. So just click on this inline policy and click on this click here link. Prashant, you have this click here, hyperlink.
Yeah.
Click on that click here, and you see here policy generator and custom policy. This came policy generator. We discussed like, we can use that policy generator to generate some policy, right? To create your own set of permissions. So we can use this policy generator and we can say select. So as soon as we say select, it gives us option of allowing and denying both. So what we are going to do now? Allow or deny? We're going to deny. What we're going to deny? Delete access, say like for example.
Okay.
Yeah. So there will be option. So for which service? First thing is to select this service, right? Which service?
S3.
Yeah, correct. So it will be like Amazon S3 or something. So just see somewhere. Amazon S3 or something, AWS, Amazon. Again, if you just do a couple of times, you will remember all these things. So it will be Amazon S3. See, it's not AWS S3, it's Amazon S3, right? So that's why it is here. So I just clicked on Amazon S3 and see this came as a service, right? Now action, what action you want to perform? What is the action? Delete bucket action? For what you want to deny? Create bucket or delete bucket?
I want to deny delete bucket.
Yeah. So you have chosen deny. Now you choose delete bucket. Right? Making sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. See, you have a lot of other options, right? So you have a lot of other options. Get bucket ACL, get bucket policy, this, that, all those options. So we are just denying, just for testing purpose. You understand how it works. So we are choosing delete bucket option. So we chose delete bucket, click outside, that one action has been selected, and you want to give ARN. We discussed, right? We can give ARN, right? So what we want to give here? So we don't want to give. Here you can give ARN, means one particular or some bucket you can mention here, right? You can select the ARN of a bucket and you can paste it here. But what we are going to do here is we don't want him to delete any bucket. Okay, so any means asterisk, right? So we give asterisk and then we say add statement. As soon as we clicked on add statement, this type of thing we have done earlier, right? So here you just say like this, and then it says deny S3 what action, delete bucket option, and then resource any. We have added this policy. This is inline policy, right? And then we say next step, and you can see this. So here we have not defined all actions. If I say all action, then what will happen? If I, instead of delete bucket, right? If I say here asterisk, then what will happen? Tell me.
So everything can be denied.
Everything will be denied, right? You can experiment whenever you are experimenting on your own. That time you try with that, right? So you will have no understanding of that. So we are not saying asterisk here. In place of asterisk, what we are using? Delete bucket. Correct? So that person will be denied delete bucket. Now, just say apply policy. Now, you have one inline policy here. So policy gen-dev grp1 something came. So it's okay. Now, if you click on show policy, you can see that this particular policy as well, right? So this particular policy says, this is the SID, this is the effect is deny, action is S3 delete bucket, and resource is any. So now in previous, when you clicked on this show policy, here you see asterisk is there, action is for all resources, for all resources, you allow all actions. So this is all resource, this is on S3, all actions, right, allowed, right? And that is the main policy that we have attached. Now within that, right, for this particular user and group, what we have done is we have created inline policy, and then under inline policy we have denied delete bucket option for each and every resource, whether it is roots or whether it is he has only created, maybe that also he cannot delete. Once created, that's it. So now let's once it is it's already applied, right, to this group. You just click on group, just see this. So it's already applied here. Two policies are there. Now you just go to another browser, right, and what you can do is you can try to create a bucket. So here it says bucket dev user hyphen bucket 2, right? I say dev user hyphen bucket 2, and then I say here I say create. See, this user is able to create a bucket, right? Correct?
Yes, only the delete is not accessible.
Now you see bucket 1, this user tries to delete it that he had created himself. He just copies it, and then he says this and he says confirm. What he got is one error here below. What does it say?
Yeah. Okay. Delete is not possible.
Yeah, delete bucket is has failed now. So,
Even for his own created by him. I mean,
yeah.
his own. Okay.
Yes. So that is what we defined in the policy, right? So we need to be very clear with our requirement. What we are going to do, right? We are going to deny delete bucket to all the buckets. Then what will happen? This will happen, right? Whether he creates or I create, even you created some root bucket or something, you just try with yours, with this user, you try to delete. This user cannot delete.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right. So this is what is there. So I'll show you how you can be, more, diverse in doing all these things. We can do more experiments, right? So that's not an issue. So we can try multiple other options, right? So you understood, right? How to, play around with policy, how to, grant access, how to deny access, right? How to make it, something. So let's do something more, right? To understand it in a better way, right? So what we do is, so you understood, right?
Yes.
Things, right? So now you just go to group.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so what we can do is with this user we try something that let's see. This user can go to IAM, right? But this user go to IAM also. So this user goes to IAM. Just try to go to IAM using this user. What happened?
Yeah, I'm using another browser actually, which is IE. It's quite slow.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, it says you need permission.
Yeah, you went through this security credential, right? So
Yeah.
it says you need permission, you need permission, you need permission, right? So AWS IAM credential, password is there, change password, right? Current password. So just see. See, I'm giving very small password. Still it says, no, you do not have the permission required to perform this operation. Ask your administrator to add permission, right? So this user, right, is not authorized to perform IAM change password on resource user dev user 1. So this.
Yeah.
Why?
His own password cannot be changed, is it?
His own password is not able to change. That is the level of restriction, because while explaining what I explained, by default, everything will be denied.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay.
You see here.
So there in the policy we mentioned S3.
Yes. What
Everything is
mentioned?
denied except creating bug.
Yeah. So see, this policy is related to S3, right?
Yeah.
Did we discuss? Did we put any policy related to IAM?
No.
So we have not given any policy. Means what?
By default, it is denied.
Yes. That is the meaning of this. That much strong this is. So you don't have does policy explicitly deny? No. Does policy explicitly allow? No. Okay, then deny it. This is what is happening. This flow is happening.
Okay.
So explicitly it's not denied that this user will not have IAM access or something. But explicitly it is not even allowed. So if it is not even allowed explicitly, then also there will be no denied request only. This user cannot do, cannot check, cannot change, cannot see, cannot do anything with the IAM because nothing is granted with respect to IAM. Right? So that is what is happening with this user. So now you need to grant that permission, then only this user can do something. Clear?
Yes.
Now what we can do is, now this user cannot see also anything, right? So this user doesn't see any group or user or something. This the user say, like for example, this user may be no kind of user administrator only, but this user cannot even see any other rows, any other group, anything. This user cannot see. Now what we can do is we can become root, right? And maybe we can create additional group for some other purpose. So that is the purpose of group. So we can create another group, right, where we can attach some other policy related to IAM, which we can keep it, give it to everyone. It's not only developer. It may be administrator. It may be some kind of manager. It may be someone else whom we want to grant some generic permission, right? So for changing the password, that is something basic, right? Anybody should have that access, correct?
Yes.
So it's not only developer, it should be, everyone should be able to do it, right? So for that reason, right, what we will do, we'll create, say like some person is joining our organization newly, and then we should add, that person is a developer, then we should add to dev GRP1. But if that person is someone else, right, still at least he should get that change password option or something. So for that, let's try to create another group. Just go and click on that, create new group. See, we can give that permission here also, in this group also, right? But that we want to make it more modular, so that if we create another group where we grant some other policy related to IAM changing password, right? If we grant that option, what will happen? We can assign that group other users also, we can put in that group. That is the purpose of group, actually. Understood, right?
Yeah.
So what we will do, we'll create another group. So just create another group, name it some kind of general group. Okay, this is a general, this is a common group, right? So we'll create, give name as a general, and then we say next step. You see some policies and all related. So which policy you want to attach? Maybe related to something IAM, right? So
Yeah.
for IAM, now you see the choices. Want to grant full access to IAM, then same thing will happen. How it happened for S3, right?
Yes.
He will delete another user. So let's not grant full access to this guy. Let's give him read-only or something, right? So he can just see. He cannot delete. He cannot do anything here. You give read-only access. Apart from that, you just see this is relevant. This is what you were looking for. You see?
Change password. Yeah.
This is meaningful, right? So this is, these two things let's grant, right? SSH key and all not needed. So let's give read-only access and change password, and let's see whether the user is able to change password or not, right? So let's do that and click on next step. Prashant, you are following?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so just please choose these two options, read-only access and user change password option, right? And say next step, right? And then you say create group. Now, another group called general has been created. You just click on that. You just go to permission. And then here you see two policies are there. Just click on show policy and try to understand. IAM user change password. What does it show? Effect is allow IAM. What is that action? IAM change password action. So he can change password, which is part of this IAM service, right? Now, which resource? Just try to understand this part. You have used any shell scripting or any kind of thing where you found like this dollar option? Dollar means
Wildcard or something.
dollar means value actually. Say like what happens in case of shell scripting, you just create a variable, right, and assign some value. And when you say like echo dollar, that variable will show you the value of that variable, right? So dollar something means value of that variable, right? So before variable we put that dollar. So now we have put dollar, and then in braces, within braces we have mentioned like AWS colon username. So now this is variable actually. We are not mentioning username here. We are not mentioning dev user or something. We can mention this is general policy, right? So it cannot be specific to one particular user, right? So this is something, this is a variable. This username can change. For dev user 1, this variable will take a value dev user 1. Okay. Now, if it's like another user, dev user 2, here it will be replaced by dev user 2. Whatever is the name of the user, that will come to this place, right? Understood? This is a variable.
Yeah, basically whoever in the group, they can do this action.
Yeah, whoever are in the group, when they try to log in and try to do that particular activity, so that time their name will come here and they will be authorized. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And within that group, we can also restrict people like only read-only access, or some people
Yes.
can have
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So for that, what we need to do? What we have done? This group, we have granted these two permissions. Read-only access we have given here. This says read-only access only. So IAM general credential report, general service, this get list, custom policies, simulate principal policy. He can do all these read operations, but he cannot delete any user, or he cannot do a lot of other things. So this is what this policy means, but he can do it on any of the resource. Now, so far, you have not noticed one important thing is this user, when you are going and seeing this user is still part of only this group. Will that benefit this user? Whatever we have done now. No.
No.
See,
Okay.
what we have
Because
done.
it is in general.
We have created another different group, right?
So we have to change that user to a different group, general group.
No need to change. We can keep one user part of multiple groups.
Okay.
Because this is general, so this is his right. So this we will grant to him, and then apart from this, he is an employee of our organization, so he will get access to this general, and then he will get access to dev group also, because he is developer as well, right? So like that it works. So he can get access to multiple groups, right, based on his requirement, right? What is needed from him, what he has to do, what he is not supposed to do. So based on that, there will be various groups, there can be various policies, right? And one user can be assigned, to multiple groups, right? So what is the option here? So just see under group UR, under general UR, here you can see edit group name, add user to group. You have option here, right? Add user to group, correct?
Yes.
So you are in the group, then you can add user to group. Now select, you are in this user, you are selecting this user. What is the option? Only two options here: add user, delete user. That's it. Correct? Now
Yeah.
when you click here, then here you see the policies, you have permission boundary, something we will explain you. Then you see here group. Here you have one group, but here you have option add user to groups. That option is also there. So from here, if you just click on this, right? So that user is already part of dev group. So you can click on this general, you can make add the user to that group also. So what do you understand here? So you have two options. From group you can go and add user to group like that to this particular group. So you are doing an operation where you want to add some user to this group only. In that case, you can choose this option. If you are working on
User
that
to
particular user who has recently joined, right, and you want to add him to 10 groups, so you go through this option where you come here, and then you add user to this group, you add user to that group. So you have two options, right? Now just click on add user to groups, right? Prashant, you're there?
Yes, yes.
So please click on add user to group. By whatever option you want, you go through group or you come through users, and then you add that user to general group, right? And it says two groups, right? For that user, when you see, it will show you, right? Dev GRP1 and general, two groups. This user became part of two groups. Now, this group is giving him the flexibility to work on S3 buckets, except that he cannot delete it. Now, general thing is trying to grant him some access related to IAM, right? So now let's go, right, and another browser, right, and where he was not able to see anything. So let's see here. Click on this user or something. Oh, so this person can see it now. Just see. Correct?
Yes.
Good. So what else he can do? He can click here. He can go to this My Security Credential. Now there's no error. See, check. It's pretty fast, right? Working fast. So as soon as we have given the policy, we have added him to group, it is working, right? So it's immediately it's taking in effect.
Yeah.
So here you have all the options. Password for console access. There is an option to change the password. So I just click here. I just give my old password. It's user's old password. And I click on change password and it's successful. You saw any error? No error. Yeah, it's working. So you understood? Password change successfully. This message also came.
Yeah. Okay.
So you understood the flow, right? Completely.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So this is how group is created. This is how user is created. How the attaching of policy helps. Right. So these are the options. Right. You can also create policy of your own. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can experiment with that. You come to this browser where you have root access. Click on policies. See multiple policies, right? So for you will have one more policy, that customer manager also. For me, there is no policy, right? So what we can do here under policies, right? We can try to create policy. Want to try?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Prashant, it's fine to extend a little bit today.
Yeah, no problem.
How much is fine? Like how much, for how long you want to extend? Because say like, if we take a break and then we come back, then it will be like, so there is one option. If you want to stay for longer, we can maybe take a break whenever you wish, right? And then we can do, otherwise we can stretch and finish it and then no need of break.
How much time it will take, this one?
I think we are almost done with this. Another 10-15 minutes, we can finish this topic.
Yeah, it's all 2:30, right?
Before 2:30, we can maybe wind up only, if you wish. Or if you want to extend, so I'm also fine with that. You can take.
No, I want to close it. 5-10 minutes, is it okay?
You want a break in between?
No, I'm thinking, can we close it in 5-10 minutes, because already it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's why.
So we want to just wind up for the day after 15 minutes?
Yeah, in 5 minutes, can we wind up, or can we do this next class?
We can do that. That will be perfectly all right.
Because already we are like 40,
Yes.
half an hour beyond
True.
our thing, right? So,
Yeah. So we can just conclude this, right? And then we can take it up in the next session as well. That will be perfectly all right.
sure, we
Right?
can do it next time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's check the just quickly do this one, right? And then we can wind up. We can take it up remaining.
Okay.
Yeah. So just you understood the policy related concepts, how we can create, how we can attach the policies, right? So creation of policy is something, right? This is for customer managed policy, where you can click on create policy, right? You see the options, you choose a service for which you want to create a policy. Just choose here, right? You can say like you want to create some IAM policy or something. You can choose that IAM policy. You can just click on that IAM. So that service is selected. You want to do certain action, right? So what action you want to do? You want to list certain things. You can just click on list, right? 30 selected. So don't want 30, just want something else. So like here you have lot of options, right? List group, list account aliases, list access key, something. Say like you choose list access key, right? You want something like under read, so you can choose like something get access key or something. Get access key last used, what access key we used last, right? You can do certain tagging things. You have some options, right? Say like under write option you are having, right? So tagging we can skip. Maybe write operation we want to do some, you want him to create access key, right? So just see, you just do Control F and you can search for create access. See, create access key is there, right? So maybe you can search for access key, right? So like that you can search next. So you have get access key, you have list access key, right? So create access key, right? And then you have update access key, you see? And then you can choose something like delete access key, right? Then you can have create, get, list, delete. Like that you have whatever related to access key that I have given, right? And then you can review policy, right? So you can click on review policy. There is one warning in there. So what is that warning? The policy contains an error. You are required to choose a resource. So you have not chosen any resource there. So we can choose some resource. Which resource you want to grant that access. So this we have not done. So which resource you want to choose? Specific resource you want to choose, right? Or you all resource you want to choose, right? So I'll say specific resource and I'll say like any resource. Okay. So let it be any resource, doesn't matter. So but all these things I want. And then I will say review policy. So it's checking the policy, right? And it's now giving that option also, right? So like that you can review, you can give some name to the policy as well, right? So what name you want to give?
Something related to IAM. Yeah.
Okay. So I will say like self access keys or something.
Yeah.
Right? What do you say? Making sense? Or I'll say like user will be managing, right? So I'll say like self-managed keys,
Okay.
something like that. So user managed, user self-managed. Like that you can say. You can just like say this option, and then IAM is there, list, read, write, all those options are there. And I say just create policy. Right? So we have this policy created, right? And you know how to attach this policy, right? Okay.
Okay.
So where you will go and attach it? We'll just finish in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
We'll just try to attach this. I'll just show you where to attach, and then we can wind up. So you see this. Maybe you can attach to any of the group, or maybe you can attach to any of the user. But you just see the policy whether it is listing or not at least. So you just here you just say customer manage, and then you see this one came right. Just click here. You see this self-managed policy, and what is written here? Version is this, statement is this, effect is this, action is this, resource is this, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Correct now?
Yeah.
So this is how it will be useful, right? So understood? So this you know how to attach. So similarly, you can attach it to the resource.
Okay.
Right? You understood this delete key, whatever we have chosen that has come, right, Prashant?
Yeah.
See, all these things have come. Now what you can do, instead of all this, you have everything related to access key. So what you can do, you can edit this policy, right? You see in this visual editor, you can go to this JSON, and in place of this delete access key or something, and delete get. So what is common here? Access key is there, right? Here also you have access key here. Here also you have access key. Here also you have access key. Here also you have access key, right? Access key is common everywhere, correct?
Yeah.
After access key, you are having S here. After access key, you are having last used here. You don't have anything here. So like that you have something. But here you have things common, right? So there is a concept of regular expression here as well. So what we can do is I'll put one asterisk here, and I'll put another asterisk here. Whatever is the common thing, right? That I will keep. I remove the delete, and you see access key asterisk. This will satisfy all these lines. So
Okay.
what I will do here, these many lines from 9th to 12th, I'll delete. So what I did.
Yeah, understood. Yeah.
Right, you understood, right? So here, instead of this, I just deleted these lines. So this is what it means. Comma also I deleted. Now this means exactly the same, those many lines. Instead of that, I have just put asterisks at both the ends, right? So now it will have the same impact. Okay? Got it? Now this person, right, can list access key of what all resources. Just see here asterisks and tell me.
Okay, user related or
all IAM user, right?
all user, yeah.
Now you remember something I had told while discussing some time ago, that there is a concept of variable. So this asterisk can be dangerous, right? Because this person can list things, all these access keys, and delete access key of root user, other user, every user. So now we don't want to do that. So you know the variable. Now you know the meaning of this concept, where you can put dollar, you can put AWS colon, and that username variable, you remember?
Yeah.
So if you put like this variable means user, whatever user is there, that user, it will be replaced by that user only. That person can list things for his user only. He can delete his key only. He cannot do it for other people. Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Got
so
it.
this is how it works. So you can just during this week, whenever you get a chance, you please try to practice this. So by this we end this IAM, right? And you just try to understand this. You just try to work on this. You try to attach this policy. You see the implications, how it is going to impact the user, right? So we'll end with this. So now, any cleanup or something? You don't have any EC2 instance running, right, Prashant and Pradeep?
No instance,
No
but
instance running.
this group access, I mean, users can be remained.
User thing is okay. So that is what
Okay.
we learned, that if we create any user and we just keep it like that, right? So nothing will be charged. That is free. Usage is free.
Okay.
They're not using, right? So
No.
yeah. So now we can simply log out. Or maybe if you want to delete that user, right? If you don't have to, you don't want to practice, and for safety, that if your password is compromised or something, if you are keeping small password or something, so you can delete these users and groups, right? And if your password is strong enough, you can keep it.
Okay.
Understood, right?
Yeah.
Understood, because this recordings will be available then in that case, right? But anyways, not a problem for you, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's up to you. If you don't want to practice, you feel free to delete these users and groups. No need to keep it, because that is again against the security. Something which is not in use, right, must be get rid of. So how you will delete that? You can go to IAM, right? Again, you can go to this this user, right? And you can delete that user. You can select that user. You can delete user. You can go to group. You can select that group, right? And then group action. You can delete that group. So you just clean up if you need it.
Just
Or you
one
can keep
question.
it. Yeah.
One before we close.
Sure.
This access level we saw, right, Arish?
Yeah.
The
You
actions.
remember we used that access key, the same thing.
Yeah, list. Yeah. But
Access
there are
key
many
we
lists,
use.
right? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
access level,
Yeah.
there are many lists, right? Server certificate. So each has one definition.
Access
Like some
is
we
like
can by reading itself we can get it, but some are we are not familiar.
oh,
Like
you're talking about multiple options there.
yeah, checkbox, multiple checkbox was there, right?
For
So
that, you have to refer to the AWS documentation, right?
okay,
So what
okay,
that policy is all about, because there will be a number of things, right, and a number of actions, right? So that is
okay.
something either it will come with the uses, right? So or it will come with the practice, or you have to find out about that. Something is very familiar, like S3 access or something. You just saw full access, read-only access, like that. You will see, right? So
Yeah.
whatever you are familiar, that means you are knowing about it, because you know about S3 and you understand the meaning of full access and read-only access with respect to bucket. So you have knowledge about it. That's why you are able to figure out, correct?
So what is
So
the key means actually? Delete key access. What
key
key?
means I forgot to relate it to the knowledge that you had gained earlier. You remember we were trying to access our Windows CLI
Correct.
through CLI. We used access key and secret key. You remember?
Yes.
So those are the keys actually, right? So
Okay.
the user will have their own key, right?
Okay.
That you
Okay.
try to relate. You go to that security credential stuff, right? And then you try to see the keys. We remember we just created key and secret key, and then we use that to log into CLI. We did configure that
Key pair.
key pair, right? So
Okay.
yeah, that was related to that key. So that is the key actually, right?
Okay.
So you can see here, create access key. You see here,
Yeah. Okay.
this is the one. So when you go to that user, when you go to that security credentials, right, and you see create access key, right? So this is where it is. You just click on create. You need permission. So create access key permission has not yet come. No. So because we have no, what we have done so far, we have given it to that group or something, right?
Yeah.
That is no, we need to check whether it is assigned or not, right? So this permission